Can now. Yep. How you doing?
No, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good.
Not sure what's going on with my camera here.
What market are you in, Ian?
I live in the Kansas City area.
Nice. Are you doing are you wholesaling in Kansas City, or what experience you got?
So yeah, I started taking a course from a Tarek Al Musa about 4 months ago. So I'm generally new, and the plan wasn't for me to really work in wholesaling that often in the beginning, but it caught my eye, and I started going into that. So I'm generally new. I've been cold calling for about a week now. So
Awesome. When you make your cold calls, what script are you following? Any particular one? Or like if you called me right now and I answered the phone, what's your opening line?
so lately I've just been saying hello, and then I'll ask if it's the person I'm calling, because sometimes my skip tracer is acting up, and then um I'll ask them about their property, say 123 Main Street. And if they say, yeah, that's their property, I'd ask them if they'd ever be willing to sell that property. If they say no, I've been asking if they have any other properties they'd willing to sell. And then other than that, if they said they'd be willing, I just ask them. Well, I'd tell them I'm a cash buyer, and I buy as is, and I'd ask them what their motivation to sell the property is, and the condition of the property, when they would want to be selling it, and then what price they'd be sitting around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that beginning stage of calling someone, remember, we're not going to force anyone to sell.
Uh-huh.
You can't force them. But if if you got someone that might be interested, like if I call you and you answer the phone, I don't really ask if it's the person. I'm like, hi, sir, how you doing? And then I introduce myself. I say, hi, sir, how you doing? My name's Todd. I'm calling regarding your property on Evergreen Street. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I don't say the full address because I might not be talking to the person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say, hey, sir, how you doing? My name's Todd. I'm calling regarding your property on Evergreen Street. And, I was just reaching out. I'm looking to buy a property here, maybe one or two more properties in the next, 3 to 4 weeks, something like that. And in your area. And I was just wondering if you're possibly looking to sell, or you're looking for an offer. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Boom. If they say yes, then I say, great. Well, if I may, let me ask you a few questions, and I'll see what I could do to figure this out with you. Boom. They say, okay. And then I do the same thing, just those 4 pillars, and I do them in this order: condition, timeline, motivation, and price. So we condition, because I could get all the information I need: square footage, bedrooms, all that good stuff, right? But, I said, okay, regarding this property here, is this a property you're living in, or is it a rental property or vacant?
Uh-huh.
Boom, they tell me. You say, okay, great. If they tell me they're living in, I say, great. What remodeling have you done in the kitchen and bathrooms in the last 5 years? And that usually gets them talking for a minute, right? I'm just trying to, get them to like me, build some rapport, and say, okay, so, all right, so you haven't really done anything to the kitchen? No. All right. What about the bathrooms? All right, great. Is there anything, is there any major issues with the property, that I should know about, like the roof or anything, like maybe within the next 6 to 12 months that it's really, really going to need? All right, terrific. Well, so what we do is we typically close in, 14 to 30 days. Does that work for you? All right, I want them to say yes or no. If they say yes, great. If they do say no, then I'm going to ask them, well, what works? What works, right? So I could kind of get their timeline, and they're talking. They might tell me, well, I'm going to need 60 days because we're not closing on our other house and we still got to move and we still got to do that. So I'm figuring out now, I'm even learning about some motivation that they have and why, right?
Mhm.
If I don't know their motivation, then my next question will be, well, if you don't sell the home now, then what's your plan? Right? So I'm just trying to keep it simple, right? And then they talk and this and that. I talk to them. We're just having a conversation, a friendly conversation. And then I'm going into the price. I go, well, how much, do you need to walk away with after you pay everything off? How much do you need to walk away with? How much money? Boom. I'm trying to get that price. If they don't give me a price, I'm saying, well, what do you think a reasonable offer for the property? What are your neighbors selling for now that, that are like your property? That's like your property. And then if I still don't get an answer from there, I'm going to be like, well, in a perfect world, you pay off everything on the house. How much money left over once you pay everything off, you walk away with that you would feel really good about. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. If I get those 4 questions there, I'm golden, right? I got all the information I need. Here, I'm more of a local guy. Are you going to the house? I mean, is your plan to work in the area that you're in?
Yeah, I now since I'm new, that was a plan, but sooner or later I do want to get into virtual wholesaling as well. I was just planning on working around my market for now, so I can obviously look at these properties before I do anything too significant.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, and also they do have other services that make cold calls for you.
Mhm.
You could get the calls that are warm, that people that might want to sell. So that might be something you think about down the road,
Mhm.
something that you might do down the road. And they're not, there's some that cost more money. I just interviewed one today that it's going to be like $5 an hour for a VA to call my list.
Yeah, right now I pull my list and then I skip trace through batch leads.
Mm-hmm.
And I cold call them all myself right now, but I obviously want to get a cold caller because
Yeah,
that can be time consuming. And
good. That's good experience. And again, you're just trying to have a conversation with somebody. And then you always got to remember that if someone doesn't want to sell, you can't force them to sell it. So don't get stressed out about that. But if they want to sell, if they really got to like you, so that's when you're trying to, build a little bit of rapport, get them to like you, try to find out, listen to them. You try to listen more than you're talking, things like that. So that's awesome. Have you done any deals yet?
no, just like I said, I started cold calling like literally this week.
Oh,
So
terrific.
yeah, like I said, so it's homeschooled by Tark, and I have coaches and through him, and my plan was to do, fix and flips and the Burr method, and then wholesaling, came along, and I was interested in that, and definitely wanted to learn some more about that. So I actually started. Well, I'm trying to do it at the moment, but just still just working out every day. I try to get at least 2 hours every day to cold call and just working to get my first deal. But
Awesome. Are you just dialing by one at a time? Are you using a Mojo dialer or batch dialer or anything like that?
Yeah, I heard about Mojo Dialer, but I haven't looked into that right now. I just have my Google Voice number and I
Mhm.
dial them one at a time.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good way to do it too. Yep. Awesome. Good job. And perfect. All right, we're gonna get started in a few minutes. I got a few people still logging in. Awesome. So I'm gonna just go across and see where everyone's from. Omar, where are you from, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm well, but how you doing?
I'm good. I'm based out in Newark, New Jersey.
Oh, nice. Awesome, awesome. Are you wholesaling now, or are you just learning?
Yeah, I'm still, really getting into it. I've been playing around with it here and there, but now I'm starting to take it more serious. Doing the cold calling. I also use Mojo Dollar,
Yeah.
cold leads, prop string, and I'm also a licensed realtor.
Oh, terrific. So am I. Nice.
Okay, so that's another way. So if
Yeah.
someone don't want to sell their property for cash, it's a potential listing.
Yeah, you could offer people a few different options. One, list it, um, a cash offer, and a seller financing type offer, creative financing.
Yup, absolutely.
Nice. And all right, perfect. Have you done any wholesale deals yet?
No, not yet. I'm really just getting really back into it. Like, it's before I used to do a lot of calls before I got my license, and everyone wanted market value. So that's one of the main reasons why I went and got my license. So now I'm like really starting to ramp up the calls and everything. Just getting the motivation, get my motivation back up, making the calls.
Yeah. Awesome. That's a definitely, yeah, just like Ian said, you do it, start off doing it a couple hours a day and then build it up from there. If you have a Mojo dialer, what takes you 2 hours on a Mojo dialer is like 6 or 7 hours dialing by hand.
Yeah, see, and I have the triple line dollar, so that helps out a lot.
Yeah, definitely. For sure, for sure. Awesome. Hey, hi JC. Thanks for coming back. How you doing? Sandra, where are you from?
Hold on. Hi, I'm from Bayonne, New Jersey. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. So I have a couple of questions regarding wholesale. Do you
Yes.
need to have your LLC to begin?
Nope,
You don't.
you do not.
Okay. And what is a good way as far as besides I guess getting your comps up for the home and going into like door knocking? Let's just say with door knocking, what is a good way to talk to these people regarding foreclosure?
Yeah, that's what I do, a lot of foreclosure work.
Mm.
What's are they going into foreclosure? Are they in foreclosure? What list are you calling?
In foreclosure.
They're in foreclosure. So, and where you're at, is there a redemption period there where you're at?
No,
Okay, so if they're in foreclosure, how much time do they have? You know?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, that's okay. Yeah, so that's foreclosures is a really tricky. You gotta know a lot of different things, meaning
Mhm.
what stage of foreclosure, did it go to foreclosure? How much did it go to foreclosure for? How much time they have left before they lose it? And is there a redemption period? Here in Michigan, there's a 6-month redemption period. Okay.
Okay.
So if they went to foreclosure and they lost it already, I'm sure you're not knocking on the door.
No, for sure.
So they're either about to go into foreclosure or there's a redemption period.
Okay.
So door knocking is fine. If they don't answer, you leave a letter
Correct.
on the door that says, please call me, I can help you. And it doesn't have to be anything official. You get at the dollar store, you could get a bunch of those cards with a little cat or dog on the front of it, blank
Mhm.
cards, and say, hi, my name is Sandra. Please call me regarding your property. I could help you. And just put your cell number on there. Please call or text me, boom, boom, boom. And you'll
Okay.
probably get a lot of response back from that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, what's like a good marketing tool? Is it like cold calling, SMS, texting?
All of them. So
Yeah.
you gotta pick one marketing tool and stick with it instead of trying to do all of them.
Oh, just one?
Just pick one right now until you get the hang of it, until you're really, really good at it, and
Mm-hmm.
add something else.
Okay.
And then once you add something else and you get good at it, now you get things coming in and you're doing things. Now you might be able to add a couple more at the same time. But in the beginning, for sure, just do one. Pick
Right.
one. If you want to do direct mail, it's gonna be expensive. So that might not be the first one that you try to do in the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why not driving for dollars, meaning driving around looking for houses, knocking on doors, and calling those people is a really good one. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
is a really
So,
good.
so I guess basically it's just like being consistent, huh?
Yep, being consistent, taking action every day, and
Okay.
failing forward. Sometimes you gotta talk to 100 people, 100 no's before you get one or two yeses.
Right.
But that's all you need. I had a foreclosure call today. I called the guy, and he was ready to hang up on me, but I got a real quick script that I use. I'll just tell it to you guys.
Oh, thank you.
The guy went to foreclosure already. He's in redemption. I said, hi, sir. How you doing? My name's Todd. I was calling regarding your property on Burt Road Street that went to auction last week. We help others still get some money. Did you know what happened at the auction? That's it.
Mm.
And he's like, I could hear him like hemming and hawing. And he goes,
Mhm.
that was my mom's house. I'm out of state and I'm giving it back to the bank. I said, sir, okay, I understand that completely. But let me tell you what happened. He said, that'll be great. And this particular property went to auction for $64,000
Mm.
and someone bought it for 74,000. So it went 10 grand over.
Wow.
And I explained it to him. And his mom died, remember? So now we have to it has to go to probate.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, sir, there's $10,000 extra. That's your money. I can help you get that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you don't get it and you just don't do anything, that's a choice you have also. But that 10,000 then will go to the state of Michigan. Let it go to you. I'm sure you could use 10,000 just like me.
Right.
He asked me a bunch of questions. So I could tell he was afraid that, is he going to be liable for this mortgage payment? Is he going to be liable for this house? I go, sir, there's nothing to be liable for, because when it already went to auction, if you do nothing, it's going to go to that person that bought it at the auction. Or I could pay for your probate. I'll pay for it out of my pocket. And hang on, someone's checking in. All right, I could pay for it out of my pocket. It won't cost you anything. You're going to deal with my attorney. And I asked him if he had any other brothers or sisters. He said no. I go, this is going to be really simple. Nothing you got to do. It's going to be, you don't even have to come here. I'm going to help you get the $10,000 that was over. And, and then he asked me some questions. Well, what if you don't buy it? What if you do all this and you don't buy it? I go, sir, I'm going to check all this stuff out. I'm going to make sure the title's good. With your permission, I'm going to walk through the house. And then I'm going to pay the attorney. So I'm not going to pay the attorney if I'm not going to buy it. That's costing money.
Right.
I understood that. And And he goes, I did get another call the other day. They said they're going to offer me $12,000 and this and that. I said, I got you. I go, why didn't you do it? He goes, I didn't trust him. I said, okay. I go, I got you. I don't, you got to be comfortable in what you're doing. I deal with an attorney, and he was talking about his attorney. I said, your attorney can call my attorney. They'll do their attorney conversations and talk attorney talk. And then I'm sure you'll get the blessing. And, but in the meantime, I'm going to send you an email. And I'm gonna get you the 12,000. If they said they could do 12,000, I don't want you to think, I'm gonna pay for the probate, just so we're clear. I'm gonna help you get that $10,000 overage, and then I'm gonna give you additional 2,000. And he was happy with that, and I told him to send him an email explaining everything I'm talking about, so he'll have it in writing, so he can show his attorney, and then I'll get him connected with my attorney,
Wow. That was good. That was a win-win situation. Win for you, win for him.
Absolutely. And it's a property that's worth 160,000, and I'm going to be in it for probably 75 grand when it's said and done.
Wow. That's good. Oh, that's good.
I still haven't looked at it. I haven't pulled the title yet. I don't need to until I get the okay, which I think I'll have in a day or two. I'm gonna keep following up with them. With foreclosures, you gotta follow up with them,
Yeah.
You can't just, some people you can, but you gotta just read the situation.
Right. Oh, good luck.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that might be your first thing, or your first homework is to find out how you should go to one of the auctions.
Okay.
I go to the weekly auction here in Wayne County in Michigan. I'm going to go tomorrow at 11 a.m. I'm there every week.
Okay. All right. So I need to find out where mine is located.
And then just sit back and watch. And then you might meet someone nice there that'll just spill how does this work? And they're going to tell you the whole thing.
Right.
Just
Isn't there like,
because some people might think they know what it's all about. So you got to verify everything when people say stuff, just to make sure you don't want to make any mistakes.
Right. Because you would also need to know about like a title company, an insurance company, right? Or like a end buyer.
Yeah. That's down the road. Don't even think about that.
Okay.
That's easy stuff. Yeah. So you always got to do the basics first, right? And please, everyone, put your phone number, your cell phone number, your market you're in, your email address in the chat. Okay. And my stuff's in there already. Once you find out some information, Sandra, let me know, and I could help verify it a little bit. Maybe we could do some foreclosures together. I can help you.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Todd.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right. All right. So I see Mark put in the topics for tonight's tips. What is the topics? I thought it was me talking. All right. I can't hear you, Mark, but that's all right. Tips on ways to find buyers for your wholesale deals. It seems like a lot of people are newer here, but it's about finding the deal. If you find a good deal and you got it at a good deal, you'll have no problem finding the buyers. Okay. Now I'm going to show you some ways. I have a buyers list over 1,000 people, and I'm going to tell you after how I market my deals. Okay. I got someone specifically in my office that I just hired, and this is what he does for me. But how to find buyers for your wholesale deals. All right. You go to meetups. Local meetups is number one. And you tell everyone what you do. Tell them you're a wholesaler, you're finding deals. You'll find other wholesalers you might be able to connect with. that can help you and you can help them. You'll find buyers there. You'll find people that want just rentals, and you'll find people that want fix and flips. Okay. And get their information instead of necessarily, I don't even own business cards. I don't have one. I get their information. They asked me for a business card. I said, oh my gosh, I don't have any. I just ran out. Let me get your information and I'll send you a text message. So I'll put their information in their phone, in my phone, their name, first and last name. And then as their company, I got an iPhone. In the company, I'll put where I met them at and what they do, you know, to remind myself. You know, I met them at this meetup. They're a buyer, fix and flips, you know, and so I collect that information. So at meetups is definitely one. Facebook, join all the Facebook groups that there's wholesalers in. Okay, all the fix and flip groups, but mostly the wholesalers in, because other wholesalers, I scan Facebook all the time and I see someone put a deal. I got a Facebook page I'll put in the chat. You guys you're more than welcome to join it. And I allow other wholesalers to put their deals on my Facebook page. And the reason why, one of the reasons why is it might be a deal that I might have a buyer for, and I'll call the wholesaler and see if we could JV it, or I could add some on top. Another reason why is that I might have a deal that looks just like this deal, and I'll see 10 people comment, I'm interested, I'm this, I'm that, send me the details. And then I will reach out to all those people and put them on my buyers list. Okay, you could collect probably 20 every day, maybe more, of people just from Facebook. Okay, so if you don't have a Facebook account, if you're young and you don't, you know, Facebook's for old people, or if you just don't, you know, Facebook is great for this business for sure. Okay, that's where I get a lot of my buyers. So Facebook, and networking are the biggest ways, just meeting people, calling real estate agents and tell real estate agents who you are. You know, you could tell them, look, I work with a lot of buyers and they're begging me for deals. They buy crappy homes. If you ever come across any properties that you don't want to list because the house is either too bad, they don't want, you know, it's not worth your time, I'll make sure you get paid. Okay, you send it to me, I work fast, you'll get paid, I'll get paid, and your seller will be happy too. Okay, so working with real estate agents, once you close 1 or 2 deals with your real estate agent, I guess that's not finding buyers, that's really finding deals. So, but Facebook groups is gold, and networking. Okay. Any other questions on that about buyers? And keeping track of this is very, very important. Okay. Don't just put them in your phone, have them on a spreadsheet in the beginning. There's, you know, I have something where I email blast all my buyers. I click a button, it sends an email out to them, and I text blast all my buyers. But at least having them on a spreadsheet, try to organize it the best you can, like where you met them, what they're looking for. And another good question is, how many deals are they buying a year? You know, when are they looking to buy their next deal? Okay, so that's pretty a pretty good information to know. So if someone just bought a deal, you might, you know, they might not be ready for 6 months. So, and you should always call your buyers. Is, you know, if you have time, you should maybe spend an hour a day just calling buyers and saying hi and talking to them and going through Facebook, finding new buyers and calling them, ask them if you can add them to your buyers list. Okay, another another good way, if you're a realtor and you have access to the MLS and you got a property in a certain area, you could search a mile radius of where your property is and look for any deal that sold in the last 6 months. And you could go through the pictures of what they look like. If they look like a fix and flip, and you got a deal that's a fix and flip, you could try to reach out, go skip trace that buyer and see if they're interested in another deal. You could say, look, I see you sold a house recently. You did a great job on a fix and flip. Are you looking for another one? A lot of times they're looking for another fix and flip. Or you could, if you can't reach them, you could try to reach the agent and tell them you'll pay them 3%, add 3% on top of it, and or pay them 4%, make it, I see you had a buyer, you helped them buy this property, or really that's the agent you want, is the agent that helped them buy it. Or you could talk to the agent that sold it. They know they could probably get the information too. So there's another one. Another one is title companies. If you got a wholesale friendly title company, they know all the buyers. Okay, so work on how you could figure out how to get on their good side and tell them you got a deal. Do they have any buyers that you could send this deal to, that that are buying rental properties in this area, and you definitely want to bring them the deal so they could close it. It brings them business, and now they're giving you some information on who the buyers, who a potential buyer might be. Okay, so there's some ways of of finding buyers for your deals that you have. So those are some good ways there. Any questions on what I said? Was it helpful?
Hey, Todd,
Yeah.
we just had Lisa Norse come on. She's a realtor. She's a really good hustler. So say hi to her.
Hi, Lisa. How you doing?
Oh, hi, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. What market are you in?
I'm on the retail side of it, residential and some commercial. And like you, I do attend the Oakland County auctions every Tuesday. Some of those individuals there have teams that they're already working with. Some are, I spend quite a bit of time sometimes counseling with regards to credit, or how far they've gotten along, or if this is their first time at the auctions, that type of thing. But for the most part, some of them already have teams, such as yourself, like investors that they're already working with.
Sure.
So I'll have to come out to the Wayne County one and possibly even Macomb and see how those are going as well.
Yeah. Definitely Oakland is tough now. I got someone that goes for me at Oakland. I got someone that goes in Wayne County. Macomb County. And then I have someone that goes for me in Genesee County.
Okay.
And yeah, so those in Wayne County, same thing. A lot of those Oakland guys, not all of them, but I know a lot of them that go to all of them. They actually go to all of them also. They're, like you said, they got a lot of money behind them and they buy them at the auction. What is your strategy there? Are you trying to list the property for the sellers or the owners?
Initially, yes, but I think now we're trying to go after some of the buyers. What I was getting most recently is that there are some buyers in there that are just looking to learn how to go about it with the way that the market is currently. So for the last few weeks, I've just kind of been sitting back observing. And you also mentioned one thing that I wanted to ask you about was the title company that you work with, obviously, or what have you. Is it that you have certain title companies in your pocket that you work with, or I know that sounds silly, but
Yeah, no, they're not in my pocket, but I give them a lot of business, and
okay.
they do things for me that they'll charge most people for. You know what I mean? Because I give them a business. Yeah. So Speedy Title is one of my title companies I use. Detroit title and escrow, because I do a lot of Detroit deals.
Okay.
And First National title is a big national title. If you ever want to use them, you got to connect with me because I got to send you to the right person.
Oh,
You
that'd
know,
be great. Thank
because
you.
they're so big, and but I like them because they got offices all over the United States. So I
Thank
like
you.
them.
I will take you up on that. Thank you very kindly.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, this is something I've been doing for some time, focusing on investors, but just trying to, like I'm going to say, tweak it a little bit with the buyers, because I am seeing that there are more buyers coming in. However, some of them are just in the Oakland area, are either not ready to buy, or if you're an investor, of course, those guys do come prepared.
Right. So you're looking for buyers to buy. What are you looking for them to buy? Deals that you have, or?
There were some of my sellers that were looking for buyers or what have you, but sometimes, like I said, they're either not prepared, or then I spend time getting them prepared, whether they're qualified or some of them even have the cash, but not quite as much as what the investors are already doing.
Oh, so you might have people that want to buy, but the market, the traditional market's so crazy.
Yeah.
They buy at the auction.
Yes.
Oh, I
Yes.
see.
And
That's
they're finding that they're being outbid.
yeah. And they're probably not used to the risk. I mean, they're buying a house that you're sight unseen, you know. You might want to try just the normal online auction, like auction.com
Okay.
and Xome, XOME, and because it's not that you don't have to buy it right then and there. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
You can still get a little bit of due diligence. You can still you can make the commission, and you might be able to. I would never do this, but you might be able to go by the house and knock on the door and kind of peek through the windows and
I've actually
kind of see
done
what
that.
the situation is, right? So that might be a good way. Buying at the auction, there's so many things that here's a few things you gotta do. You gotta check title. You gotta make sure there's not I seen a $9,000 water bill on a property before. And you got an hour to do all this. You got to check title, check the water bill, check the liens, make sure there's no, IRS liens or, anything like that. And you got to drive by the house to make sure that the owner didn't burn it down. I seen that happen the night before, stuff like that. So,
I've had people ask me about quiet title, or if they already have their title company, especially certainly after they've done their homework or due diligence. But many of them are just simply being outbid due to lack of knowledge, I want to say.
Yeah.
Unless it's the investor, and they already pretty much for the most part have their team already ready to go.
And they got to wait 6 months to 12 months mostly it's just 6 months to get the house.
For the redemption period. Yeah.
For the redemption period. So that's, yeah. But and so that right into our topic, that's another good place to find buyers, is at the auctions. All right. So you can find out who's buying all these properties. You go there early, go after they read everything and just make a little flyer and talk to them. Say, here, I wanted to hand you this. Give me a call. I got some deals. Or if you're interested in buying some off-market deals that you could actually go inside the house and, they're probably better than auctions and they're at good prices, let me know, blah, blah, blah. And boom, you could get a bunch of buyers there. So no, yeah, a good way to do it too.
Yeah, thank you for that. I have spent, like I said, quite a few times just driving around bird dogging, just seeing what's out there, what looks empty, and doing follow-ups that way as well.
Yep. Awesome. What brokerage are you with?
I want to say Citrus 21 Town and Country.
That's the old timers. Nice. Awesome.
But making changes. So yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Please make sure you have your name, phone number, email address in the chat. Okay. everyone, please. And yeah, let's definitely connect. Thank you, Lisa. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
And tomorrow night, we got, Mark, do you have it in front of you? I can find it real fast. What we're doing.
I put it into the chat.
Did you? Okay, great.
So, yeah, you
Yeah.
can talk about it. If you look in the chat, you'll find the event.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah. Anyone else? You know, just a quick recap. Buyers. Where do you find buyers? Facebook groups are huge. Auctions. Going to auctions. Buyers that just sold houses on the MLS that were flips. That's a way. And networking events. So those are probably the 4 really solid ways that you could build your buyers list. Definitely.
Yeah, and Todd talked about a meeting tomorrow night. It's the 3rd part of a 4-part series on how to get into the wholesaling business from A to Z. And the other 2 parts, it's already happened. They're on our YouTube channel, and he gives out some incredible information. So highly recommend everybody take a look at it.
Yep. Awesome. Any other questions regarding buyers or anything wholesaling? That we have? Come on. Bring it. No.
If I'm brand new to wholesaling, where should I start? What's the first thing I need to do?
Yeah, brand new to wholesaling. All right. There's a lot of free information out there. And I would say you got to go to the networking events in your area. Okay. 1 podcast only. I'll give you more later. Wholesaling Inc. Wholesaling INC. It's a good podcast. And just listen to the ones that are talking about wholesaling, because they talk to a lot of beginners, and they give out a free script and things like that. You could, really, it's all about talking to sellers. Cold calling is probably the best way to get started, is making phone calls and learning from there. Okay, you probably got to call 1,000 people before you get any good at it. All right, so that is what I would suggest, is learning how to talk to people and making a lead. Okay, I see there's a couple questions here. Here, iPhone. I just got started, and I think the hardest part is finding a buyer. How do you know if a buyer is serious if I find one? What do I look for when I walk through a seller's house? What's an absolute no? What do I look for? Really, there's 2, in my mind, there's 2 type of deals. I got 2 deals under contract today that they're probably worth 35 grand if I was gonna sell them on the market in Detroit. But I'm going to sell them for 35, 40,000 because I have a buyer's list of people that buy rental properties. So where are you going to get a rental property for, $35,000 or $40,000, and you're going to get $800 a month in rent? And, so it's more about the return on investment at that point. It's not about it's not a fix and flip. All right. So I'm looking at the house, it's already rented, trying to see what the major issues are. And, the serious buyers, how do you know if they're a serious buyer? You can get a proof of funds from them, and you could get a earnest money deposit. That's a couple big things. And those are the biggest things. And how did you find that buyer? You could check them out on Facebook. Maybe someone knows them. maybe another wholesaler knows them, things like that. So if they're not, you really don't know if they're serious. You know, I wouldn't go show a house with just one person coming to the house I didn't know. You know, I wanted to have 3 or 4 people there. And we did a Zoom. We did a Zoom that showed what do you do when you go to a seller's house to show them after you have it under contract. There's a lot of steps you got to take so your buyers don't blow the deal for you. So you could go on Mark's YouTube page, Mark Maupin, or my YouTube page and find that. Okay. Yeah, good questions there. Should I invest in list source to find buyers? I don't think that's a great way of doing it. They might even get it from the MLS. I think the other ways that I told you would in the beginning would be really good. Networking events, Facebook, looking at people that post deals and all the people that that comment, I'm interested. I have a buyer. If someone says I have a buyer for that, then you know they're probably a wholesaler. So that's not really a buyer. You could talk to other wholesalers and squat up with them and see if they have a buyer in your first couple of deals. That might be a way of doing it, things like that. So, you know, in the beginning, as long as in my first deal, I made $2,500, I was ecstatic. You know, if I would have made $500, I would have been happy. It's just a proof of concept at that point. Okay. All right. Any other questions? All right, perfect. Well, I appreciate everyone coming on the wholesaling side of things.